Hello and welcome. In this guide, we'll cover the basics of the gradient workflow. We'll start with a model that uses a pure gradient palette. First, we'll reference the model, then click Get Colors. This will automatically process all the gradient regions associated with our model. Next, let's inspect the processed regions to see if they've been handled properly. We do this by highlighting the regions while observing the model and texture to ensure all areas are covered. Notice that we didn't adjust any processing settings before clicking Get Colors. That's because, by default, the first time you get colors in the gradient workflow, it uses the default processing settings. If the results aren't satisfactory, you can now open the processing settings, adjust them, and click Get Colors again. These settings essentially determine the sensitivity when calculating the bounds of each gradient region. But what are gradient bounds? Each color region can be edited based on one of three methods: UV pixel mapped locations, which are best used for solid color regions. Next, UV min-max areas, which work well for your current model, but may not be ideal if you plan to share this texture with other models. And finally, calculated gradient bounds, which define the limits of the gradient on the texture. You can also manually adjust these bounds if they need tweaking. To open the bound setting, click on this button. To increase the values, hold Shift and click. To reduce the values, hold Control and click. The value will adjust based on the absolute value set in this field. Now, let's repaint this model with new gradients. Since we're working with pure gradients, make sure to enable gradient-specific algorithms, which are designed to work with both UV min-max mode and gradient bounds mode, which is currently what all our regions are set to. Select the regions of interest and override them with a new gradient. Good, you have now mastered the basics. In the next video guide, we will edit a model that utilizes both gradients and solid regions in its original texture.